Final Fantasy Adventure is the first game to be released for the Mana series and the entry for this incredible franchise that will last until 20 years later. This game was released on 1991 on Game Boy system, and the game was basically an action RPG where you play as a beautiful character from the world of Final Fantasy. Secrets of Mana, or Seiken Densetsu 2, is the sequel to the Final Fantasy Adventure game that was released in 1991. This game was actually released for the Super Famicom. Trials of Mana is a 1995 Super Famicom game, and it is the third game for the Mana series. This game was called Seiken Densetsu 3 in Japan. Legend of Mana is a 1999 PlayStation 1 game that was developed by Square Soft. This game is actually different from the first game in terms of gameplay, and the world of this game is represented by a map viewing from an aircraft that player can use. Children of Mana, or Seiken Densetsu DS, is a 2006 Nintendo DS exclusive game, and it is an action RPG set in the world of Mana universe. And this game, the developer behind it, especially the director Kuchi, was interested on multiplayer element because he was after the attempt for a multiplayer game in the Mana series and Secret Mana, even though it was very limited, but it was the first attempt from this creator to bring multiplayer on the Mana series. Dawn of Mana, or Seiken Densetsu 4, is the fourth game in the Mana series, and this is actually the first ever game that use fully 3D dimensional for a Mana series, for a Mana game. And this game was released for the PlayStation 2 only on 2006, and the game was set in early ages of the Mana universe. of Mana is a 2008 Nintendo DS only game. This is the first attempt for the Mana series to go on tactical role-playing game, and the developer was inspired from such game from the Western area, such as Age of Empire and StarCraft, and the creator was wanted to bring something like that to the Mana universe. of Mana, or Seiken Densetsu Rise of Mana in Japan, is a 2014 iOS and Android game, and this is actually the second game for Android and iOS. And this game brings back the multiplayer co-op game where you choose between 8 characters. It's a free-to-play with a lot of microtransaction into it. Sword of Mana, or Shinyaku Seiken Densetsu, is a 2003 Game Boy Advance game. This is actually a remake for the Final Fantasy adventure that was released in 1991 on Game Boy system. Everything from scratch, from the graphics, Adventure of Mana is a 2016 remake of the same name Adventure of Mana game, and this game was released for the PlayStation Vita first and after in iOS and Android system, which this game brings back all the story and everything from the original game, but adding some new features like the composer music for this game was actually get back to the development team and composed new scores for this remix game. So this was a great achievement for Square Enix to bring back such a beautiful game like Adventure of Mana to new audience for PlayStation Vita and also mobile fans. Secret of Mana is a 2018 remake of the same name of the game that was released for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita and also Android system and iOS system. This remake is a fully 3D remake made from scratch from the idea of bringing back all the good stuff from the Secret of Mana game that was originally developed for the PlayStation 1. Trials of Mana is a 2020 PlayStation 4, Switch and Windows game. It is actually a remake for the Trials of Mana game, and this game is a fully 3D game that was remade from scratch to bring back the Trials of Mana game to new audience in 2020. So this game was developed by Square Enix and was a huge success for the company. That's why it's give Square Enix the idea of bringing more Mana games to the Legend of Mana Remaster is a 2021 remastered or actually a remake game for the incredible game that was released on 1999 on PlayStation 1, which is Legend of Mana. And this game was a great success on the PlayStation 1 and one of the greatest games for the series, from the series. and there is no and Square Enix wanted to release more remake for this Mana series, and they released remake after remake, Secrets of Mana, Trials of Mana, and now Legend of Mana. That's why Square Enix is bringing back those Mana games in order to make new games like the Vision of Mana that will be available on 2023. So Square Enix is on fire with the Mana series, and I hope they will continue in this work to bring in more game from the Golden Age era. Vision of Mana is the new game that will be available on 2024, and actually it's a comeback from a long time to go, because the Mana series didn't release a new entry for this franchise, and Square Enix is back, and it is back with fire after several remakes for the series. Now it is back with a brand new game for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series.